we'll start with the first topic, which is why do I say to disappear the chi? So what I'm talking about, if you're just tuning in, at the end of frequently at the end of exercises, particularly qigong exercise, anything where we're amping up our energy, we kind of reach a certain point, like a finish point of a particular process or sequence. I'll say, inhale and then press down and imagine that you're disposing of the cheese, like you're pushing down on a big plunger, you're pushing it out through your feet and into the earth. And the people say, don't you want to hang on to the energy? I mean, you worked really hard to get all this energy together. So why don't we kind of store it? And the idea, it came to me from my teacher, Master Yang Fukui, and he introduced the idea to me. It took me a number of years before I figured out why we're doing this. I just kind of did it because he told me to. But then I realized exactly what's happening there, and that is that, and this is the way I explain it. It's imagine that you're an open system, your body mind. That is, you're exchanging energy with your environment, which doesn't take a lot of imagination because it's happening all the time. Even if it's just body heat, you're exchanging chi with your environment. So the idea of storing your chi comes from the idea of a closed system. That is, I'm going to keep the chi inside and hold on to it. Stuff it into the corners and pack it in there, and that a lot of people think that way, including a lot of very reputable masters, and they're like the process that I'm talking about is more of an open system. That is, instead of just amping up the chi that's within, let's say, my own body mind and trying to hang on to it, I'm thinking in terms of connecting up with the big chi. That is the yin chi of the earth, the yang chi of the heavens. And rather than just using the limited resources that I get from digestion, breathing, the chi that comes from the actual physical processes of my body mind, I'm actually saying, no, we're tapping into something which is even not just bigger, but virtually infinite in the energy of the universe. And then particularly whenever we establish our three pillars, we open up particularly in the central equilibrium, we open up the gateways that allow the yang chi of the heavens, the yin chi of the earth to mingle with our own personal chi, and we're constantly refreshing the energy. So that rather than being a closed system, a bag of chi, it's more like a conduit that we then, as we're circulating through, we take as much as we need to ensure our good health and expanding vitality, and then we throw it away. And the idea is that it's a virtually infinite resource, so we don't have to hang on to any of it. All we have to do is be able to tap into this infinite resource anytime we want, and we can amp up our available chi. We can then condense it, and if we need it for a specific use, we can, for a moment, kind of create this amplification, and then we let that go and we're done. And so I use the analogy of breath. That's actually quite fitting because one of the translations for chi is breath and or air. And so when you think of it that way, so our chi, our energy, is the process is parallel to that of breathing. That is, you inhale, your body uses what you need, and then you exhale, and you take in your oxygen, you get rid of the carbon dioxide and what are other um, waste products that you've got there, and then you move on to the next breath. And this is a continuous process where you are an open system. That is, you're exchanging air with the environment. And this is something we've been doing for a long time, and we've gotten kind of used to it. And so the chi, if we think of the chi in a similar way, if we imagine that we are breathing our chi, then we we are never without. There's never a point there where we lack chi. And this is not a small thing because a, probably the majority of physical problems and even mental problems that people encounter come from either not enough chi or not distributing it freely, correctly. And so if you have lots of chi and then you circulate it, then you have a much better chance of being happy, healthy, and live a long time. So that is the idea behind it. So we, every time we do this, we are making a transformation then. So which leads into the second part of this, which is that the classics talk about this. Cheng Man Ching talks about it too. The idea is that if you focus on the chi, you will limit your kung fu. You'll not be able to reach the next level. That is, you have to go beyond chi and embrace your spirit. So you have to raise your spirit, and that requires transforming your energy into Shen, into spirit. So what we're doing whenever we say throw away the chi is that we are, by the fact that we are witnessing our chi, we are saying, oh, there it is. I feel the chi. I'm throwing it away. Just by the fact that we're taking a perspective external to the chi, that is, the chi has become an object. We have objectified the chi. That position we are looking from is more insubstantial than the chi, because the chi itself is pretty insubstantial. It's something that most people don't even think it's a thing. But once you get familiar with it and its substantiality is there for you, you say, oh yeah, I feel my chi, then we move beyond that to something even more insubstantial, and that is your Shen, that is your spirit. And this is where we move into the third level of development. Cheng Man Ching talked about the three levels of development. One is your body, getting that first, and then your energy, be able to circulate that, and then you move into spirit. And that's where he said the real business of Tai Chi Chuan happens. It's in that. And that's something when I talk about my new book, is talk about how we can raise, abide, affirm, and condense our spirit so that we can more easily recognize our chi, cultivate the chi, and control it, circulate it, understand it. And that way, it's not something that carries us, we are moving it around. And that requires occupying a perspective that is even more insubstantial than the chi itself.